and I get so fly. We in the building, don't let your girl go. I'm too cool, too fast.
Social media is such a slippery slope, you know?
Right.
It's just like about always feeding your fans, but it's a such thing as oversharing. And I think that's something that the kids out there need to know. Like, everything that you do doesn't need to be posted. It could be incriminating. It could be just detrimental to your future. You know what I'm saying? So be very careful on social media. I have to tell myself that all the time. So everybody out there listening, take it from us. You feel me? Be careful.
Here's my tip, because I've been here. If you got to think about it, don't post it.
Don't post it.
The likes aren't worth it.
Right.
The likes are not. It's funny, all my girls, like, we got pictures. And of course, a piece of it too is like, I'm trying to show myself, like, even if you notice the clothes I wear to games, I want to be seen as a stylish woman at work. But none of my clothing are overly sexy. Mm-hmm. You know, I never show cleavage at work. I'm never too short in my clothing. I'm never skin tight. You know, like, I've had form-fitting dresses, but I want to be stylish and classy and all of that, right? So, like, occasionally, you know, there'll be pictures, and I show my lifestyle. Like, I also have, you know, some sexy clothes too. I've had a night out, you know, or something like that, and that gets posted too. Mm-hmm. Or I've been on vacation and we're in bathing suits. Like, that's happened. I mean, that's part of life, you know. Right. But there are some that are too much. Or like, they're too suggestive. They're saying, come here. That's not my brand. That's not what I'm trying to be about. So in a public way, you know? So there are times where I'll have a group chat with my girls or something, and I'll send this picture. I'm like, is this good? No, Roz, don't post that one. Or if I got a couple of yeses and a couple of no's, I just go with, if it's questionable, don't do it. Yeah. If you're wondering, do you look intoxicated? Are you in the wrong situation? Don't do it.
Right.
It's not worth it.
It's not. Because you could be trying to get a job and somebody will pull your stuff up and it'll be over after that. But I wanted to talk about, like, the traveling. You said you like to travel a lot. I saw over this last summer you did a, like, extensive amount of traveling, like a mind-blowing amount of traveling, and to very, very far places. Like, when I was looking on Snap, I'm like, damn, like, is that even healthy to be on a plane that long and come back and be here for 2 days and then go to freaking Greenland and go back to wherever, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's like the most exotic and exciting place that you've traveled?
Ooh. See, that's a hard one. I've actually traveled many places in the world. Either basketball has taken me there, or also now that I'm done, I like to take trips and stuff. But each place is special. Like, I remember I was being recruited by an Israeli national team, an Israeli basketball team. And for me, it was special to go to Israel for the first time because I actually met family there that I never knew I had on my mother's side. So it not only was it a basketball thing, it took on a whole cultural
That's a
and family
very deep move, because you said your mom is Jewish?
Yes.
And that's like the Holy Land. Like,
they lived in Jerusalem.
Wow.
And they took me in. I had reached out to them through email because my cousin said, you have family here. And they took me in and we had Shabbat together, and they had me in for dinner, and I spent the night, and they showed me pictures of my mom's mom when she was a baby, of my grandma. I mean, like, things like that. It was crazy. So that was special for that reason. I mean, I've been to Nigeria a bunch of times, but most recently playing for the Nigerian national team. And I've been all through Africa. We went to Mozambique, we went to Nigeria, and then we went to Mali at the top. And just playing the different FIBA qualifying tournaments. And just to get back to your roots, and also it was a significant time too because I was playing for a country. You know, I had Nigeria on my back. It was a very pride-filled moment. And my dad lives there now too. Then Italy was awesome. You know, the food was so good. Ibiza was a lot of fun.
It looked like fun, I'm not gonna lie.
And that was a crazy trip where it was like 3 days, we just went, you know? But I would say my most recent exciting moment was Brazil for the Olympics. And this summer, working Olympics was such an awe-inspiring moment. Like, watching the opening ceremonies, it gave me goosebumps to see all of the top athletes in the world unified through sport, marching in, representing their country, the pride, the outfits, how big it was, the fireworks. And then also for me, career-wise, to cover men's basketball.
That was huge.
NBC. it was probably one of the biggest things I've done in my career. It went well. And then the last thing I took from that too was like getting to make relationships with basketball players outside the Warriors. I hadn't necessarily had the chance to do that. And now I think that will pay itself dividends moving forward. And also watching all the sports. I loved Simone Biles. Yeah. I saw the gymnastics. I saw swimming. I saw Bolt run. I saw Phelps.
That's so crazy. Probably, and to be there in person, it's probably so clean.
It's crazy, and it's funny how like your patriotism will kick in. You know, like I went there, I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. And everybody you like USA, USA,
oh, that's so
and you're so into it. And okay, the most exciting sports event I've ever been to was at the Olympics. It was the gold medal football game. Brazil, the host country, was taking on Germany. They'd never won gold in soccer, and it was more. It was lit. It was more crazy than Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Wow.
First of all, I'm pretty like it was hot. It was kind of sticky. It was like I don't know. I feel like it was like 100 or 200,000 people. It just was. I don't know how many people. It was so many people there, and everyone was standing and cheering and singing through the whole game. The game was dramatic. It went to extra time, and then it went to 5 penalty kicks, and finally Neymar kicks in the 5th penalty shot to win it, and. There was such euphoria, crying, singing, joy, hugging, just for an hour. And it was like, I've never seen anything as thrilling as that in my life. I've never been so drawn in. I mean, I got emotional. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
Can you dance?
I can't samba. I could dance, though. I could dance like this. That's how I be dancing.
I mean, I learned that going to Stanford. I learned a little bit of Bay Area.
I've seen that. But, how's your this face real quick? Let's see it.
I don't know. but no, we used to get down with that. At first, I wasn't sure about the hyphy movement, but coming in from New York, I was like, what is this? To Stanford. And then I literally got to college. And at the time, when this was like, at the time when like those big hits were coming out, like I remember first hearing for the first time in my life about who Keek the Sneak was and stuff.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was for the first time in my life. Like I remember that was like hot on Stanford's dance
That's
floor.
a life-changing experience when you understand and learn who Keek the Sneak is.
And he came and performed at the school.
Oh yeah, that's so lit. Yeah.
He was like, Keek.
That's so clean. I brought him out at my show. I had a big show in the city called IAMSU. I brought Keek the Sneak out, and I was on stage like, damn, that's really Keek the Sneak. Like, I can't believe that. Like, me and my boys will play that. You know what I mean? So
that's what's up.
Clean.
I tell E40 be at games a lot. I'm like, I remember Tell Me When to Go. Like that came out during my college time. Like to this day, we had our reunion at Stanford. Our 5-year reunion, because I finished 2010, and they played that, and everybody was getting it, like just going hard, sweating, like it was like people were on tables, like nobody cared. So, but yeah, Olympics. I took a samba class, and I went to a lot of events. I went to the beach once, but it wasn't that. It's winter there. It was winter.
So it wasn't that many people out.
No, everybody was on the beach, but it just wasn't hot. Like I didn't even really sit there in my bathing suit. I just sat on the beach and ate chicken.
That sounds perfect. That's my ideal vacation. Like that's what I do.
There's a chicken in Ipanema. I went last time for New Year's, and we found a spot like they season meat very well, and there's a spot that just did chicken right. So and they also have fresh juice. So I went back to Ipanema. And I went to find the street, and and it was years later, I found the chicken spot, and I got my juice, and I went to the beach and sat and looked at the water and ate chicken.
That's a dream come true. It's like, do they have like that open fire, like rotisserie, and it's just well seasoned, or how was it cooked?
It's well seasoned. I'm not sure. This little chicken spot I was at, I'm not sure what they did. It was a small little joint, but the chicken's good. But I think the meat, it's like that you can do all sorts of different types of steaks and beefs and things like that. I think that's like what they're known for. Like I'm sure I'm gonna say this terrible. Fogo de Chao, that restaurant.
Okay,
yeah.
Now like Bossa Nova. You had a Bossa Nova before?
I haven't been. No, I don't know.
For real?
Yeah.
That's like I don't know. I feel like you'd have been there, but it's in LA and it's like Brazilian. They got like the ideal like rotisserie, real well seasoned, just real good like.
Can you cook?
I could make like just generic stuff like peanut butter and jelly. It's a specialty of mine. You feel me? I could
Damn, that's
hook
a
up
sandwich.
like a beastie bowl of cereal. Like if you need a bowl of
peanut
cereal,
butter and jelly?
I'm whipping in the kitchen with that. I can make like some fire chicken wings though.
Okay.
Chicken wings are straight. My breakfast is like across the board straight. Everybody said that was straight, but everything else I'm like a little shaky. Like
Okay.
I got an app that I look at and I got recipes.
Okay. I'm just
Can
really...
you cook or not?
I can cook, yes. Yeah, my dad is Nigerian. It was like really important to him. Like he would force me to come into the kitchen and watch him cook. Like even when I was playing basketball as a kid, you know, Nigerian parents, he'd be like, Fatima, sit down, come in the house and cook. Read your book. What is this nonsense basketball? And then like when I got a scholarship to Stanford, you know, he changed his tune. He was like, I have always supported my daughter's basketball. I was like, Dad, you don't stop. But I did learn to cook because of him.
What's like your favorite Nigerian dish?
I love agusi stew.
Mm-hmm.
Agusi soup. I like mai.
What is that?
So agusi, I'm saying this like you know what it is. So first of all, there's fufu or like eba. It's like pounded yam. Or it could be gari. There's a lot of different things. But basically it's like a white it's like a white kind of flour type of
Okay, that's how I saw it.
And you do this, and then you dip it into the different types of soup that there is.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like red stew with okra, and I actually really love, I'll change my choice. I like red stew with okra and goat meat. And goat meat is delicious. And in fact, I could never be a vegetarian because we grew up on so much meat. But when I was younger, my dad used to have to yell at me and say to finish your fufu before you finish the meat because I would eat all of that and then leave the table.
Smack the goat meat
and leave. So also plantains and eggs, simple things like plantains and eggs and, you know, beans and yams. I mean, those were all, like, I grew up, you know, with my dad preparing Nigerian dishes and I love all of them. Sadly, I do need to learn how to cook a lot more Nigerian dishes. So for all, you know, my Nigerian fellas out there.
Lock in.
No, I'm going to get it together.
Submit recipes ASAP.
You will have some jollof white rice. You will. But I appreciate it. I'm going to learn. And yeah, that's it. But I love it all.
That's lit. Like, moving on to music. Like, I know.
Beyonce.
Whoa. That's crazy.
I don't know if you go to
take you as like a Rihanna person.
I love Rihanna too. And actually, I think her last album was really awesome. There's nothing that sounded like that right now.
Nothing.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm down with Rihanna.
Yeah.
First of all, let me just say this right now. I don't like that to bring up Beyonce means to bring up Rihanna.
You gotta put down somebody else. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't both of our amazing black queens be great together? Like, why is it gotta be you gotta either be a Beyonce lady or a Rihanna lady? Like, they're both awesome and different. You don't gotta choose who would you rather. Like,
but you know, like, it's like Prince or Michael Jackson. You could be a fan of both, but it's like a super purpled out Prince person or a zipper jacket Michael Jackson person. Like, would you consider yourself a part of the Rihanna Navy or the Beehive? Or are you just in both?
No, I'm part of the Beehive.
Okay.
Card carrying member. I'm a stan too.
Did you go to her concert?
Yes, of course.
I took my mom for her birthday, and it was the second time I got to see her. It was like crazy. Like,
which concert? Which one?
It was at the Dodger Stadium. What was like your favorite moment like out of that concert?
First of all, I was blessed with amazing seats at this concert. So we were literally middle second row, and it was at Levi's Stadium. She was so good, I didn't even have fun. Like, I swear to God, I spent the whole concert like this, like just staring at her and breathing hard. I was like, oh my God. Like she was, I know, I couldn't even enjoy it. It was so good. It was overwhelming. All my senses were in overload. Like,
so good, I just didn't even enjoy it.
I didn't even have fun. Like, it's so funny because I took my best friend for her birthday, Laura, and we keep poking each other because every now and then we would notice each other's face. Like, she was like, look at you. Like, every now and then, like, she'd poke me and my face was like this. And we'd be like, she's a unicorn. Like,
seriously, she is.
There's no one putting on a show. Beyonce is the greatest performer in the game today. Michael Jackson, you know, all time. But Beyonce, we have watched her mature as a dancer, as a performer, as a woman. And also, we talked about social media before. Beyonce has actually perfected and monetized privacy.
Exactly.
She's actually done better by showing less. You've never seen Beyonce be sloppy.
Never.
Even the elevator incident, Beyonce walked out like this.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, so like, I prefer to share more than Beyonce. Sometimes as a fan, I do find myself wondering, you know, not that I'm entitled to any of her business, but just like, you know, she don't give us a ton. How much do we know about Beyonce? But I also kind of am okay with the mystery. I'm okay with the separation.
I think that makes her a bigger celebrity because you always think like, what is she doing? Because you just don't know.
Or when she does share, it becomes bigger. Or when you do get an appearance from her, or you do get a story. Like Beyonce, I believe there's some huge magazine, it might have been Vogue or something. She got a cover page with no story, or like didn't have to do an interview, or like Beyonce is doing things like, dropping an album, no promotion, or she'll tell MTV the day of she's gonna do the MTV Awards. Like they didn't get a confirmation, I don't think, till the day of or the day before.
Wow.
Like Beyonce is one of the most powerful people in America, and I think even though she's a modest, more soft woman in how she speaks, she's a businesswoman, and I think lately has been real conscious about her platform and trying to represent for women and also Black people.
Right, definitely, and that takes a lot of courage on her part because it's so many people from different places that listen to her music. So definitely shouts out to her. But like, have you ever tried to rap?
When I was little, actually, when I was younger, we used to go to the park and freestyle.
Yeah, because you from Queens?
I'm from Queens.
That's where rap started? You know that?
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That's like
Tell me about it.
The first person that rapped is, as the legend goes, you know, I could be misquoting it, but it's like, I want to say it's a DJ, his name was like Cool Herc or something. They would plug
I know Cool Herc, yeah.
their turntables into the street light. They would use the circuit breaker and they would play like loops of old school songs that didn't have music, and then people would host the party, but the way they would host the party, they would rhyme. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, it started where you from. You know what I'm saying? So that's really dope.
That is dope. And like, for me, like, we would sit around and like, people would they'd like battle rap basically. And I was never really good off the top, like off the dome or anything. But if I had time to sit down and write, I could actually come up with some stuff.
I believe.
But I'm more of a poet than anything else. What about you?
I rap in so many different scenarios. When I was young, I had a rhyme book. I was on my 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? I was just locked in. Yeah.
But could you just come off the top with it?
Yeah, but now I don't write none of my raps down.
Really?
Yeah. I'll go in the studio, and most of the times I'll have a hook, a couple words in my phone, like in my notes. I'll put that part down, and anything else I'll think for a second, and I'll just go in and start rapping.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I went to Hawaii.
Does it always make sense?
Consistently, yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, at this point, you feel me? It makes sense. But I was in Hawaii about a week ago, and I made like 9 songs in 2 days. And I was just like, the energy and everything out there, I was just able to go and say so many things, like just off of absorbing that. So I think it's just about being on your wave. We were talking about being wavy.
Right. But I feel like I was watching a video. I was actually studying you. And I watched a video, or maybe did you send me something? I don't know. But it was a video like about how you made a song. And like the things you were thinking about, I would never even consider. Like people don't know all the things that as a musician you're considering. Like you were thinking about how you want people to hear the background of the music. Like, I mean, what are the things you're thinking about?
When I create it, I have a visual 9 times out of 10. And like over the last 2 years, when I make music, I watch this documentary on Netflix. Like it's a flat screen in the studio, and I play this thing. It shows like wild animals in like the rainforest. It'll be like a what's that? Like a zebra trying to cross through a river in Africa, and then a crocodile will eat it. You know, a shark will eat a seal. It'll be fish swimming. Yeah. And like I'm really into like the color palettes of it, and like when I see music, it's like I see different palettes of colors, and when I see that kind of thing, it allows me to kind of dive into those colors of that visual and that energy behind the visual in my vocals. Right. So I kind of try to paint more of like a sonic picture based upon like the things that I see, you know, and try to translate that into words and melodies and tones. So that's
Wow.
like,
So it's an image before it even becomes words.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So a lot of times you see somebody doing like this to some music, it's like I'm like really seeing something, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's
Well,
where my head is at.
I don't. I mean, I feel like that's something that makes you good at what you do.
Thank you.
That's why there's only so many like successful rappers and musicians.
Yeah.
I would never think that way.
For real? Like,
No. I mean, I played piano growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play instruments?
Yeah, I play the piano right now. You know, I make my beats. So I play the piano and I play drums and stuff.
I played for 8 years.
You're probably actually better than me. Like I
No,
can't
I'm
play
not. Can
a
you
whole
read music?
I can't play a whole song.
Uh-huh.
Like I could play the parts like if I'm going dun, dun, dun,
I could do
whatever.
dun 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 dun.
For real?
dun, dun.
We gotta show
We
you on
should
the
do
piano.
it.
I'm not gonna lie. I can play chopsticks. I think I can play this Drake song. It's like a Drake song off his
You
first
really?
mixtape. Randomly, I'll be learning stuff by ear. So like I'll just hear it and try to learn it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's like my musical process. Like it's kind of like interesting. When I try to explain it to like my engineer or to my friends or something, they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like it makes no sense. I'll be like, just make it sound like glass, bro. Make it sound like ice in a cup or something like, and they won't understand. But I got like it's really about the colors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's crazy.
yeah. Do you see music like when you listen to music, or do you just?
I see life. I see memories.
Mm-hmm.
I also think I see projections. I see things I wanted. Like when I listen to music, I often go elsewhere.
Right.
It takes me somewhere. I really enjoy music, and I think more so since graduating from college. Like I've gone to a lot of festivals. And I like the culture of it. First of all, the number one thing that I like, I think, is that I have my same group of friends that we go all the time together.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also like, you know, we're into the music. Like we'll go to Coachella every year. Like I think I've gone like 5 years now or something.
Never been to Coachella.
You need to go. You need to go because
I always kick myself for not going.
and you live in California. It's a shame. What are
Right.
you doing?
Last time I was in Boise, Idaho. The time before that, I was like in Kentucky or something hella random.
You've been in all these random states.
Right, man. It's like every time it's Coachella, I'm on tour.
So I would say go weekend one because that's when all the cool people go. And I'm just like, I'm playing. And you know, we can be a little Coachella snobby. We can be like, well, we were there before it was 2 weekends, and you know, before it got super
I
commercial.
didn't know you was 5 years in, so
You know,
you've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot because we were also going like, you know, Stanford kids. We would all go get a house, and then my first time I didn't even know what it was. Someone was like, just come, and it was like either senior year or the year just after it in college, and we went and. Like, we would actually research a lot of the smaller acts and see what they were doing. I'm blanking on, what's the name of the black guitarist? Dang, I'm upset.
He's the lead singer in a band?
No, he's just a guitarist,
him?
and I think he sings. He might just be a guitarist, but he's so dope. We stumbled upon him and we lost our minds. James Blake, I randomly stumbled into his tent, and after hearing his sound, bought his album,
Wow.
and like it's just a different sound. Like, of course, the commercial, the big artists, of course, we're there to see that, and of course, our group tends to like hip hop, so we're at all of like the hip hop events and stuff. But for me too, it's the discovery of music. It's this hanging out in beautiful weather. It's, it's also the social life aspect of it. It's the hanging out by the pool and tanning. It's just such a wonderful weekend. But I've also done, Governor's Ball in New York.
Oh, wow.
Or
There's so many festivals.
there's so many of them now. Like, but I try to, like, I really want to get to South by Southwest. I heard there's a lot of, like, cool cultural things and, like, also sharing of knowledge type things going on.
Yeah, I would say go before the music. Go to the technology part.
The sharing of
Yeah, because
info.
it's 2 weeks.
Right.
And like typically I go for the music part. But this last time I was there like a week early. So I checked out so much stuff and it was just like cool. It's like Microsoft has a thing here and all types of different companies and it's cool.
I'm interested in that. I'm always down for things like that. So for instance, I think earlier we were talking about college and I never even finished the answer, but basically I was like, I'm so busy trying to rush from class to basketball to this and that. Like I was just trying to get through the day. And now I find myself in the real world, like thinking about like, man, it would have been cool to just sit in on a lecture You know, so like I actually, you know what I mean? And I've actually gone back to
that too. That's hella funny. Like I want to take a class.
I want to take a class. I think too, like because now we don't have to do any homework, you know. So like we're like, oh, I would go. But I actually have gone to Stanford and sat in on lectures that have interested me, or you know, and that's probably something I wouldn't have thought to do while I was there. But I'm really into stuff like that and broadening my horizons and challenging yourself. In fact, I just joined a book club recently, which I know sounds nerdy, but I found myself realizing, like, when's the last time I read a book? Besides the reading that I have to do for work.
For real, though. When was the last time you just bought a book and just read a book?
Yo, it will expand your mind. Also, continuing to read keeps your vocabulary, like you get stuck using the same words over and over. It keeps your vocabulary refreshed. It keeps your imagination vivid. And also the more perspectives you have, you know, it may help your decision making. It helps inform you. And I think as we continue as a society to get into our tablets and our phones and this and that, you know, I think we should still keep the joy of reading. Reading is really important.
In like a tangible, actual book.
Excellent point. I'm using a reader, but I prefer the comfort and the feel of a page, you know? And that might be lost on the kids right now because most of them are using a reader. But a page is, all my books are well-loved, dog-eared, folded down, you know? And so I've joined a book club now, just more than anything because I wanted to continue to keep my mind growing and working, not just only, hello, this is Rosalyn talking about basketball. Stephen Curry's good. You know what I mean?
You kind of turn into like a robot. Once you understand what you're doing to the point that you do, it's like you could do the same thing, kind of not even really thinking about what you're doing. So it's all about expanding. Like
Absolutely. In fact, Steve Kerr, I don't know if you knew this, he has a special assistant that, or also I believe the PR team also has as well, but at the start of his days, they leave a few interesting articles. They get to pick them in anything, in fields outside of basketball, just that are of interest. And he reads them, and it's to give him perspective. It's to give him a little bit of separation from always being in the basketball world. And I also think it gives you a better ability to handle different types of people, gives you different viewpoints on how to handle different situations. I think it just expands his brain, you know, as opposed to kind of being gnawed by the same grind each day.
Yeah.
He's super just next level Steve Kerr. He really is.
He seems to be. Like, I like his method, and he seems really passionate about the team. Really, really passionate. Almost getting texts, like, every night. It seems like.
And I think the team, like, appreciates when he shows his fiery side, you know, lets them know he has their back.
Yeah, absolutely. What I want to do right now is kind of like a game. It's called 10 questions. So I'm going to give you 2 options, and you got to say rapid fire the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
You ready? Sneakers or heels?
Heels.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Summertime or wintertime?
Summertime.
Stay up late or wake up early?
Stay up late.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Oh, I figured New York. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce.
Obvious. Alcohol. Clear or dark?
Clear. I know.
Turn up or turn down?
Turn up.
Popeyes or KFC?
KFC. I know you're judging me for that. I know you're judging me. I love KFC. I don't care. I like their mac and cheese and their coleslaw. And I like their original style chicken.
Yuck. Salute though. Hey, but look.
I'm not ashamed, and I'm not ashamed.
I want to thank you for coming. I know you got a really, really crazy busy schedule. You're probably supposed to be in Antarctica or something, like doing something crazy. So just thank you for coming to my house and kicking it. Like, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me into your beautiful home. This was fun.
Thank you. So you already know it's your boy, tapped in, the wonderful Rosalyn. Make some noise. Aye!